New year, new year. Welcome back to another episode of the What's Eating You podcast. I have a special guest today and I'm very excited. Her name is Winnier Bonnie and she's a motivational keynote speaker here to give you all the good stuff.
Welcome to the What's Eating You podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Giorgio, and I'm a clinical psychologist.
This episode is not going to be another New Year's resolution. It's going to be different. To be honest, I was not feeling motivated about recording this episode, and now we've had a really big giggle about it, so I'm ready. I think I actually need this episode, Winnie, so I'm grateful that you're chairing this and leading this because every year I do feel this pressure to set resolutions and goals, and throughout the year I get disheartened if it hasn't happened. So tell us why people need this episode today.
Yeah, so I feel like why people need this episode is to really understand the distinction between real progress and why people go through this cycle of year after year after year. They set the same goals around and around and around and actually don't have any progress or don't experience the kind of progress that they would like to have around their goals and things like that. So it's about understanding, I think, the distinction between action and identity, and we can get stuck in either two, but it's understanding the distinction and then integrating that for understanding.
I like you said action and identity. What's the difference?
So for me, mindset is really about how you think and how you feel about yourself on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Because I know for myself, like I can go up and down, particularly around confidence, right? But does that mean that my identity is actually one where I am a confident person, or perhaps in this particular moment, I'm feeling confident? So for me, identity is where our thoughts and our feelings are integrated.
Yep.
And there is a level of consistency on a day-to-day basis rather than fleeting thoughts and emotions. What about you?
I agree. I think actions, everyone just will take an action but not be consistent with it. And a lot of people try to change their behavior, but I think when your identity shifts, your behavior is more consistent with your identity. It's fused together. Okay, good one. So that's why you should stay to the end and you're going to have a really cool action plan for the year ahead. Where do we start?
Let's start with the phrase.
Yes.
New year, new me.
New me, new year. We're flipping it up. We're flipping it.
We're flipping it.
Because everyone says, new year, new you. I remember they used to sell that a lot in fitness challenges and lose weight and become a new you. But you told me, let's rephrase it as new you, new year.
Correct.
What does it mean to you?
For me, what that means is it starts from a place of like self-agency and self-responsibility. Because I feel like the phrase new year, new me means that just because a new year has trickled on, that somehow, by magic, we're going to achieve our goals. And it doesn't work like that. But it actually starts with us, right? And the micro, consistent actions that we take on a daily basis. And in order to take those actions, we sometimes need to reframe in our mind our ability to take those actions. Because I think the problem for a lot of people is the reason why we don't take those actions is because we doubt ourselves. Like, do I have the ability to do it consistently? Because for the last 5 years, I haven't done it.
Yes.
So it's about backing ourselves.
I agree. New me, new year. It comes down to, I believe if you change within yourself, your year will be different. Let me give you an example. If you start to change, let's just start with emotion regulation.
Yeah.
If you start to work on controlling your emotions, controlling your anger, controlling your anxiety, you're going to experience the world completely different. Whereas someone who's like new year, new me, they're expecting their year to change in order to change them. But the truth is, the life is going to happen. We're going to move on. Things are going to happen. How you respond to the world isn't about changing the world. It's about changing you. So in summary, your reality comes down to how you think, how you feel, how you respond. And I think if you can change those things, the reality you experience changes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I feel like that's why a lot of people, because there's stats that say that by February, like I think like 80% of people will not have achieved their goals, or just January comes and they're like, yeah, like let's go to the gym.
Yes.
And then by February, they're like, sliding downhill. And then usually by February, March, people like, there's like very little inaction. And I feel like because that identity hasn't been integrated in themselves, and that shift hasn't happened, what we actually experience is a bit of emotional burnout, because we may be taking the action, but we don't believe that we are someone that is capable of taking consistent action.
100%.
And it's true. Like the data, if you look at the last 5 years, the data might show you that. But you've also got to believe in your own inner resourcefulness of your ability to take that action.
Yeah. So what you're saying is a big part of going after what you want in the new year comes down to believing that you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Like we've been having these chats, right? Like in our walks.
Yes.
Our beach walks.
We have a lot of motivational beach walks. I'm going to think we should carry a mic and record this.
Yeah.
Because I know we've got our podcast scripted out here and we've got things to say, and I know I'm going to go off on a tangent, which I think is a good thing. But why most New Year's challenge fail comes down to what? Not having the belief? Anything else?
Yeah. Well, I feel also for myself is that we can get very caught up in like fixing ourselves rather than simplifying it and just choosing a different belief.
Yeah.
Like I can go down this bunny hole of like, I need to go do all these 100 million gazillion things to rewire how I think and feel, rather than, you know what, I'm not going to accept those garbage thoughts. Every time those garbage thoughts come in, yeah, they're there. Let's push the garbage to the side and let's have a new thought.
Yes.
Have a new thought to have a new experience.
It's so true, but it's easier said than done. I teach this. Thoughts control your feelings, feelings control your actions. It's hard to do. How do you do that when you don't feel like doing it?
I think with us, like having like partnering, like body doubling.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got to believe in our own resourcefulness and our ability to do things, and your environment has a lot to do with it as well. So I know that, like they call it like social contagion or like emotional contagion. And there's lots of research around this too, right? Where they've done studies, and if a married couple is in a social group with people that are going through divorce, there's a higher chance of them probably going through that journey of experiencing divorce as well. Same thing around obesity and so many other things. So your environment is so important, and choosing individuals to connect with and spend time with where their values align with your values as well.
Yes.
Because of that social contagion, because of that emotional contagion, it's conscious and it's also like subconscious or unconscious too, right? On such a big level.
I think a lot of people can also have negative social contagion. People bond over negativity. They bond over talking and bitching about other people. They bond over staying stuck. When you're listening to this, I really encourage you to reflect on your social circle, the people around you, and not just your friends, the people at work, your family. Are they people who have a growth mindset and that are open to supporting you with your goals and dreams? Or are they the kind of people that talk about other people? Everything's hard. Everything's always negative. Nothing's ever good enough. It's too windy. And look, I can be one of those people here and there. Trust me, I know. But I think what you're saying is having people around you who support you and want the best for you helps you with that. But I'm just making a point that social contagion can also be negative contagion and negative influence.
100%. So what's the balance between creating space for someone to vent
Yeah.
and to name their emotions and get it out, and identifying when someone is just really stuck in that negativity and that like they're stuck in a hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the key is spending some time with them and asking yourself, is this a moment? Are they just having a moment? Is it a pattern? Are they always like this? And the third one is see how they respond to potential feedback. Because we have our moments. We'll say, oh, I need to vent. I need to get this off my chest. I know I'm being really negative right now. Actually, I feel a little bit like that today. But do they stay stuck there? And when you offer them support, do they find a problem to every solution? For example, let's talk about dating, right? Your friends, every man is horrible.
Oh my God.
The apps. Oh, have you tried the apps? Oh my God, the apps are so bad. Everyone's so flaky. Okay, that's okay. What about, are you going out on the week? Oh no, like it's da da da. I find that those type of people, they'll find a problem to every solution you try to get. And it's how you feel. You feel exhausted. Whereas when we hang out, I don't feel exhausted by you. I feel energized. What do you think? How do you know the line?
I think that's a really good distinction. And yeah, are they having a moment? Because I know that with friendships as well as dating, that I've got to take it on an interaction by interaction basis. So every interaction, I make a decision about, do I want to interact with them again?
Good one.
Based on the data that they are giving me through what they say, what they do, and then how I feel afterwards.
Yes.
So it's like gathering little bits of data over time. And then when I start to see a pattern, then that's when I need to make a decision about, do I pull back from that friendship or that relationship, or do I lean in?
Yes.
And it's about being really decisive, but also not spiraling into guilt and shame, but also that self-centeredness that comes with people pleasing. I'm friends with them, so now I've got to be friends with them.
Yes. We'll cover people pleasing in a sec, but
Yeah.
I love the idea you said of gathering data and then making a decision. It's almost for this year, for new year, do an audit of your social circle, an audit of the people around you, but do an audit of yourself. Are you the negative drainer?
And I also feel like there's a distinction there. Like, this is not outsourcing like responsibility. This is actually taking ownership. Because if you really want to create change in your life, a really big part of that is the people that you spend time with, is the people that you interact with. Even with family members, we can't always choose them, but we can make conscious decisions about how much time we spend with them. There are some family members where I know that their mind can just TikTok.
Yes.
And that has a negative impact on me. So I try and do activities with them.
Yes.
So I find that when we're doing activities, like physical activities, like going shopping or gardening or
Doing outdoors.
Yeah, playing golf or something like that, their mind is a bit more regulated and they're not just stuck in, they don't go through this negative, wormhole.
Yes.
Which then negatively impacts me as well. So when it comes to your environment and who you're spending time with, it's having that balance between not expecting people to do all that change work for you, but actually it's a flip of you taking responsibility around and ownership, like full ownership around, maybe this friendship is not a healthy dynamic for me. Maybe this relationship is not a dynamic for me.
Yes.
And it's actually holding me back and pulling me back from my goals and my dreams. And the truth is that my life actually matters and no one's going to create that change for me. So from a place of agency, a place of self-respect, a place of ownership, the conscious decision that I'm going to make is maybe perhaps to pull back from that friendship.
Yes.
Or pull back from that relationship or to end it.
Yes.
And with love.
With love.
Do you eat a large amount of food in a short period of time and feel a loss of control? Maybe you make yourself sick after you binge eat. If this is you, you're not alone. I'm a clinical psychologist who went through a 9-year eating disorder, and I know how to get to the other side of food freedom. If you're ready to ditch the dieting mentality, discover food freedom, and find confidence in yourself and your body, click the free eating evaluation call. The link is below.
So in summary, do an audit on your social circle, do an audit on yourself. If you have people in your life you can't get rid of, we're not saying get rid of them, but put parameters in place to protect your energy and your time, because people work with difficult co-workers all the time. They can't exactly quit their job. You've done a lot of corporate work. What would you suggest to people who work with toxic people?
Go to HR.
Go to HR?
Because it just takes one person to ruin the culture of the whole team. My boundary line, well, when I'm advising corporates and things like that, and we've identified that there's someone that's tipping the apple cart over, the question we ask ourselves, or that I invite them to ask themselves, is this person coachable? Are they open to feedback? Are they open to constructive criticism? Because if they're not, we may actually need to performance manage them out of the company. Like this, we're running a company.
Yes.
We've got things to do, and this person's actually holding everyone back. And then what happens is like that emotional contagion, that social contagion, it then starts impacting everyone. And then before you know it, the team, the company is underperforming. So the first question we ask ourselves, is that person coachable? Are they open to constructive criticism and feedback? If they are not, then the next step is actually to performance manage them out. They can go work for some other company and ruin their culture and things like that. But that's where that phrase comes from, like hire slowly, fire quickly.
Yes.
Because you've got too much, like life is so short. I don't know about you, but like this year, my professional network, I've lost quite a few people that are around my age. Some of them have been unwell for a time, but I would say 80% of them, like death has just come, like that. They were not expecting it, obviously. There was an accident, there was an underlying illness or condition that they weren't aware of. And like life is literally too short to be mucking around trying to change someone that is not willing and open to change.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we've spoken about your social circle for your new year to improve new year. Social circle was number one. Your beliefs about yourself was number two. What's next?
I feel like it's, if we take identity and we kind of unpick that a little bit, right? Because I can speak for myself. Would that be helpful? Okay.
Yes, please.
I know for me, the theme in my life that I've uncovered lately is like this pattern of like abandoning myself, which is all the people pleasing stuff. So I will prioritize other people. I prioritize other people's projects, other people's goals and dreams and ambitions for themselves, and put myself last on the list. And that's all that people pleasing stuff, which for me, like I actually had someone call me out on it, and they used the word, was it you or someone else? Or someone else. And they said, you abandon yourself. And when they said that, that felt like a really strong word for me.
It is very strong.
Yeah, but that was a word that I needed to hear. I think people pleasing was probably a bit too soft, and I think it's constantly talked about. Like,
yes, and people pleasing kind of sounds like a badge of honor sometimes. Because when you people please, it's a good thing. When you abandon, it's a bad thing. So I think that term is very powerful and strong. I like it.
Yep.
I get resentful. So I'm pretty good at not abandoning myself. For example, I'll always prioritize what I need to do in the morning because that's when I have the most energy. But if I find that I then start replying to people and just doing silly things that aren't productive, I start to get irritable, triggered and angry. And I'm like, hang on, you chose to reply to that text, Steph. You chose to switch your focus from what you were doing. I think that abandonment comes with irritability at yourself as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So when it comes to a shift in identity, it's about releasing the old patterns and embracing the new. So I know for myself, the old patterns were like feeling like I needed to over-explain myself, shrinking. Like we had this chat on Friday, right? Shrinking, diminishing, waiting on others, like outsourcing my power to others. Expecting others to change, expecting others to show up differently. We can be stuck in perfectionism.
Yes.
Or we can also be stuck in underperforming. I know I have that more myself. And then we also talked about abandoning ourselves and then staying in our comfort zones.
Yes.
Whereas a new pattern around our identity can be around having crystal clear clarity around who you are in your essence, knowing what your boundaries are, deciding to take full ownership for your life, to not outsource that responsibility to anyone or to anything, and committing yourself to action consistently with the belief, because I know for myself, sometimes I move towards a goal and I take action, but the underlying thought that kind of simmers underneath is, oh, but you're probably going to give up in 2 months, or you're not going to be consistent, or you're just going to fizzle out and things like that. So for me, I've had to change, like really be very diligent about catching those thoughts and telling myself, no, I'm not accepting that belief anymore. I'm choosing a new belief.
Yes.
Yeah.
You honestly have to push the negative thoughts aside, or they ruin you, they drain you, they control you. And I never thought, I don't get negative thoughts, but you do. They're subtle and they whisper in the background. And if you don't block them out or ignore them, they will consume you and eat you. Abandoning yourself, going back to that. So if you're someone who abandons yourself, you're currently putting others before yourself. What are some other examples? Not prioritizing what you need to do that day.
Yep. Not following through on what you say that
You're going to do.
You're going to do and that you need to do. You'll get distracted by, which part of it is just the way technology is designed.
Yes.
But I think that's where having like a psychologist or a coach or someone that you can work with to call you out on that.
Yes.
To say, it's a technology, like technology's changed the way that your brain wires, or this is a you problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that all sounds well and good, that having a coach or someone to hold you accountable to these changes can also help you maintain the changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amazing. What's next?
Yeah. And that comes back to action. So when we look at James Clear and that hugely popular book, Atomic Habits.
Yeah, great book.
Which is really from some other guy who wrote Tiny Habits.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Everything's from something.
Everything's from something. So one of the takeaways from Atomic Habits, which comes out of some other guy's work, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but it's Duhigg.
Duhigg.
I don't know. Good on you, though.
Thanks.
Is the importance of doing those reps consistently. For example, last week, there was a day that Monday night. Hang on, Tuesday. So
What happened?
I came home early in the morning on Tuesday night.
Yes.
So I didn't go to the gym on Tuesday because I got home and then literally 2 hours later you were going to the gym.
Yep.
So I made sure I went to the gym on Saturday.
Yes. You made up for it. So proud of you.
Yeah. So I was thinking of going and I was kind of on the fence. And then your partner reached out and said, I'm going to the gym. Are you coming? And I was like, oh, now I'm caught.
Now I'm sprung. But then if you didn't have that person in your life, you could have just been like, nah.
Yeah.
Which goes back to the first principle we spoke about, your social circle.
Yeah.
Abandoning yourself, changing your beliefs, and identity, following through with what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
But what do you think the line is between being kind to yourself and not following through and being disciplined?
I think it depends on who you are. Like I know for myself, maybe you're the same as well. So it's kind of similar, but also different. Like you're a clinical psychologist, I'm a coach and a speaker, but a lot of my work in the corporate space is around behavior change. But I feel like because I know so much about behavior change, that kind of keeps me stuck. And so what I actually need is I need that external person to actually call me out my own crap.
Right.
So I need a psychologist. I need my own coach to unpack things and say, that's you, or that's a system problem, or you need to delete that friend, or to help me understand what is real and what is just a narrative that I've made up in my head because I know all these 12 different frameworks and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was talking to this guy and he's also done a lot of work in personal development. So he's actually an engineer, but he's done like all the things. And he's the one that made that comment and said that sometimes he feels like he actually gets stuck because he knows so much.
Yes.
So he's constantly psychoanalyzing himself to understand, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Do I need to change that? And that overthinking, overanalyzing, like really keeps him stuck. Rather than actually having a negative thought or a negative emotion is part of being human.
Yes, it's normal.
And it's part of life. I'm having a moment. It's okay. I'm not the only one on the planet.
Yeah.
Let's just get on with it. And not everything needs to be psychoanalyzed and pulled apart. So for me, I like to do like a 24-hour test.
Yes.
So if it doesn't shift in 24 hours, then I may have a problem. But then having that external person to call me out on it is really helpful.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have called you out and been mean. I would have said, yeah, if you got home late last night, have a rest. You should be training, you got this commitment. Whereas if you were doing it all the time, then it would be a pattern. But I know it's very unlike you to get home late, not come to the gym. But when you said I'm going on Saturday to do the day we missed, I was so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Like, go girl. Yay. Yeah. I think keeping the promises you make to yourself is the highest form of self-respect. But promises that are for your well-being, not punishment, not, oh, I've got to go to the gym because I ate so much, more, I'm going to move my body because I value taking care of myself.
Yeah.
From that frame.
Yep. Yeah. And I think the other distinction is what feels uncomfortable and what feels comfortable. So for me, for example, like physically, I was tired because we'd done 15 million steps.
We did so many steps.
And we did, I think that was leg day too.
Yep. It's a lot.
So the legs were sore and but I still worked the legs on Saturday. I was like pushing the leg press and I'm like, look, at least we've done 3 or 4 reps.
Yes.
At least we've done it, but I've showed up, I've pushed this machine and done the weights because it's about being consistent. And that's from a place of I value myself, I value my health, my life matters to me.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that's the thing. When it comes to self-responsibility, that can sometimes result in burnout. Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
Like when you get too focused on your goals and your dreams. And
I think I was in burnout denial during COVID. When COVID happened, I was working a lot and helping a lot of people. And because I felt like you should be grateful you've got a job. You should be grateful you help. But then by the end of that year, I felt really irritable. I was so snappy. We were in lockdowns. But I felt like, no, you can't be burnt out. You're supposed to do this. Like work this many hours a day, go. I think I was burnt out then. And I know what burnout is, but I think we can also over-identify with burnout. I think it can be a negative thing. If you constantly think you're burnt out, it may not be helpful to help you recover. I'm not sure about burnout. What do you think?
2012, I actually did feel burnt out. And I made a conscious decision that I was going to ban busy from vocabulary because I realized that I was saying it a lot. I'm busy. And I didn't want to feel burnt out. And I have not felt burnt out after that.
Since you got rid of the word busy?
Busy and just decided I'm not going to be burnt out.
Yes.
So I know myself, like I know when I get to that pace where I'm just pushing it a bit. And I think it's different from pushing yourself for the purposes of growth and pushing yourself to a point where you're starting to feel exhaustion. For me, burnout hasn't been physical and there's a lot of cognitive association around burnout with workload. And for me, I actually find the work energizing. I find, like there are some things that I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do it.
Tax.
But the payment tax. But the work in itself is actually energizing. But it's the other stuff in life that burns me out, and it's emotional burnout.
How do you prevent emotional burnout? So if we're going back to new you, new year, how do you prevent yourself from emotional burnout? How do you not even have it?
Well, because you've got the vagus nerve, right? That connects from the brain down the body. And that's where I've got to ask myself, if I'm feeling physically exhausted, am I feeling physically exhausted because I've done a lot of hours?
Yes.
I've done a lot of work? Or am I feeling physically exhausted because I've been overthinking? And because I've been overthinking and sitting in fear or anger or resentment or psychoanalyzing things so much, my brain is just like on the go all the time, that it's then overloaded my whole nervous system. And as a result, my body's starting to feel fatigued. So for me, I actually do track my hours.
Yeah.
The amount of hours that I've worked every week. But then that was really interesting, because there are some weeks that I do 50, 70 hour weeks and I'm physically tired, but I don't feel burnt out. And then there are other weeks that I may do 15-hour weeks and my body is just really fatigued.
Yeah.
And I look at that data and I'm like, it's not the hours that I've worked.
No.
It's because something has happened in my life. And my brain is just on that mouse wheel, you know? And I feel so uncomfortable by that situation in my life that my brain is working so hard to try and shift my emotional state from that, because that feels uncomfortable.
Got it.
Yeah. So my brain is just like, okay, do this or do that or change this or speak to that person, speak to that person. It's just on constant like overdrive. Like I'll be up at 3 o'clock in the morning and my brain will spin around and around and around and around. And so for me, one of the phrases that was said to me was, put your head where your hands are and just keep your hands busy.
Yes.
So for me, staying in action and just being really present on the task that I'm actually doing prevents me from getting emotionally burnt out, because I'm an overthinker.
Yeah, you are. Sometimes. Interesting. So being burnt out doesn't come down to how many hours you're doing, but I think it's important to log information. Keep a journal. If you're not someone who logs your thoughts, your feelings, it's really hard to become aware of it. So I have a journal in my phone. I just say 2025 and I start a new one. And whenever I need to, I just dot down a few things. Even this morning when I have my coffee, I'll just dot down a few things, how I'm feeling, what's been happening in my life, if there's anything I need to get out. And it helps me because I love reading over it throughout the year and seeing how I was feeling at a particular time. But also, like you said, you can track your hours and see where you're feeling burnt out and why.
It's about knowing what works for you, right? Because I know that if I journal, I get stuck in a mental loop.
Yeah,
So I'm
you're
like,
saying journaling doesn't work for you.
No, because I'm like, well, shit, my life is shit.
Yeah.
Shit. And I get stuck because I've tried it for so many years.
But I feel like that's
Doing
the
morning
point, is to
pages.
get it out, is to get those feelings out.
Yeah. Maybe it's the hyperfixation in me, because then I get stuck on that for the rest of the day.
That's interesting, because sometimes I journal. I used to only journal negative stuff, but now I make a conscious effort to journal both. But I feel just getting it out is really good for your system.
So for me, I'm more of a kinesthetic person. So that's why working out first thing in the morning is important.
Yes.
And like leaving a very small window between when I wake up and when I actually go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because if that window's too wide, like my emotions are really like raw. They can be really big. That's usually from a buildup of like cortisol and things like that. Things that you kind of take over from the next day. And so for me, it's like I have to physically move my body. Because I've done lots of experiments over the years, and when I haven't physically moved my body first thing in the morning, like literally within 15 minutes, then my head just starts going.
Yeah, movement is so important. If there's anything you're going to do in your new year, move first thing in the morning. Go for a walk, do some stretches. It is the best way to start your day.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what's next?
Do we feel like we want to wrap it up?
Yes.
Okay. So what are some practices people can do to not outsource change to a calendar?
I think figure out what it is you want in your life to change. What year do you want it to be? What do you want to happen? I think it's okay to set goals and to set all of that, but bring it back to you. What do you need to change about yourself to make that happen? What do you mean by calendar?
So there's this, I mean, that's the whole intention of that phrase specifically for me for the year is just because it's a new year does not mean it, just because the calendar TikToks from 2026 to 2027 doesn't mean it's going to be the most amazing year. Doesn't mean that all these amazing things are going to happen. It means nothing.
Yes.
Like change can actually happen at any point in time. You are in the driver of creating that change. And that is actually on you, not outsourcing it. Oh yeah, as soon as the clock turns 1st of January 2027, my whole life's going to change.
Yes, exactly.
I'm going to do this. Like we talk about it like, for me, my journey with alcoholism, you talk about it from the context of eating disorders. Like we often say we outsource change to a calendar. Monday, I'm going to start.
That's right.
Tomorrow's going to be a new day.
Tomorrow, when I start this new job, yes, I like that. I get it now. Okay.
When it actually starts with you. I know for myself and the other women that I mentor around alcoholism, they have got to make a decision.
Yes.
If they do not make that decision today and take action today, it's not going to happen. Everyone says Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Monday. Monday, or they'll say tomorrow.
Yes.
So I'm going to go full out. I'm going to have the last show today. I'm going to just, in my world, it would be, I'm going to binge on alcohol.
Yes, or go last supper eating.
Yep. And then tomorrow
is a new start.
When I wake up, like everything's going to change.
Yeah, nah.
I'm like, doesn't work like that. You've got to make that decision today. Yeah. And this, in my world, unfortunately, a lot of people have to experience an incredible amount of pain in order to make that, pain and suffering in order to make that decision. But ultimately, we've got to make a decision around the life that we want to have for ourselves.
Exactly.
And part of that decision is changing our belief from, I'm not sure I can do this. Because we may say, these are my goals, and we may share it with our friends and create a vision board and put it on our Instagram and say, this is what I'm going to do. Like we can do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But if we don't inherently believe in our capacity to create that, to achieve that, what's the point?
Exactly. It starts with you, and it starts with you wanting something to shift and believing that you can do it even when you don't feel like you really can.
Yeah. So let's use you for example. So with the goals that you have for your life, do you believe that you have internally, like we talk about that internal locus of control, that you have what it takes to achieve those goals?
Yeah. I know that I can. However, I know it also can get in the way, and I need to be conscious of that. Yeah.
Starts with you.
It starts with you.
Yeah. So the statement that we can have for ourselves, an identity statement, is I am someone who follows through and takes action.
We'll write that down on your mirror.
Even when it's uncomfortable.
Yes, that's the point. It's going to feel uncomfortable.
I have the ability to do hard, difficult, challenging things. I've done it in the past. I can do it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And the third action that we can take is we talk about, I think you put a post on it, like confidence. And it's the actions that we take that build real confidence.
Correct.
Self-trust.
You don't just wake up confident. Ding. It's a progress over time.
Yes.
Yes.
So every time we take those actions, we put a little coin in the bank account of confidence.
Yes.
That builds up over time, that then tells us and that we are a person that can do things, that can follow through. And that's real confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the last action that we can take, and this is actually a reflection question, is where am I asking others to validate what I already know.
Yes.
So I can do this a lot. My mentors call it advice shopping.
Advice shopping.
Yeah, I go fishing. What do you think? What do you
What
think?
do
What do you think? What do you
Until
think?
someone gives you the answer you want to hear.
Yeah. One of my ex-boyfriends, he used to say my board of advisors.
Yes.
It's like, have you consulted your board of advisors?
It's so true. I'll usually say, what would my coach do in this situation? And then I act from that.
Yeah.
What would Winnie do? What would Steph do?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first step is to make a decision today.
Yes.
Think about an action that you can take right now, even a micro action, like one action that you can take to get started, to build up momentum. Have a different reframe around your thoughts. So every time you catch those thoughts of, I'm not someone that follows through.
Yep.
I'm not someone, like, I keep doing this, I keep stuffing up. Catch yourself and then reframe it. And we've got to do that consistently in order to change our identity. Honor the promises that we make to ourselves.
Yep.
From a place of confidence. And then ask ourselves, where are we handing our power over? By outsourcing what we know to be true for ourselves to others to validate us.
So true.
Yep.
Such a fantastic summary. And if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you let us know, leave a review below if you're on Instagram or if you're listening on Apple or if you're listening on YouTube. Let me know in the comments. There's a lot more listeners on YouTube. And Winnie, if people want to learn more about you, where can they find you?
They can go to winitha.com.
Yes.
Benefits of an ethnic name. In terms of the website.
Yep.
And you can also look me up on Instagram, winitha.bonnie. And I'm also very active on LinkedIn as well, obviously because of the corporate space.
Yes. Amazing. I'll pop all the links below. Make sure you tune in to next week's episode. It's going to be a juicy one. And I'll see you all there. Thank you so much for being here, Winnie.
Thank you.
Yay. Love you.
Love you.
Did you know by taking 2 seconds to leave a rating or a review, you help me get the podcast out to more listeners just like you who could really benefit from the information? I appreciate all your support and thank you for tuning in.